In the grand scheme of space, the edge of our solar system is a very lonely place. Sunlight fades to perpetual darkness, temperatures plummet to unimaginable lows, and silence reigns absolute. It's a realm where dreams of humanity reaching out to touch the stars feel very far away. Yet it was in this most desolate corner that in the final days of September, Voyager 2 made a discovery so profound it threatened to shatter the very foundations of our cosmic understanding. Voyager 2E's mission had long transcended its initial parameters. Where it touched the surface of Neptune in 1989, becoming our closest observer of that distant ice giant. Beyond Neptune, it entered a sea of nothingness, a realm where expectations ended and the unknown stretched endlessly. It was here, venturing further than any craft before it, that Voyager 2 began to pick up something strange, signals that didn't belong, readings that defied explanation, and a steady hum that whispered tales of interstellar secrets. It was faint, fleeting, and at first dismissed as background noise, but something about it nagged at Evelyn Reed, a young astrophysicist working at Caltech. She couldn't shake the feeling that amid the static of deep space, she was hearing a whisper. While others saw randomness, she saw a pattern. Something had been following them, watching them, and it was getting closer. And now, 4 years later, that realization was changing the future of space travel forever. It started subtly, barely registering on Voyager's archaic sensors. But Reed, with her years of dedicated study, noticed shifts in the plasma wave readings, a modulation in the low frequency range that suggested something more than simple cosmic noise. The breakthrough came during a routine equipment check. When the team analyzed Voyager's antenna reception, they found echoes, faint, distorted echoes, that spoke of an unseen presence bouncing radio waves back at them. In essence, they were receiving signals from a source that had yet to reveal itself. Officially, this was classified as an anomaly. But privately, Dr. Red and a few colleagues began to share a hypothesis, an artificial probe. The idea bordered on the heretical. Artificial probes were supposed to be tethered to stars or planets. They didn't float through empty space. But then again, the situation was unprecedented. Yet just as they were about to alert their superiors, the anomaly shifted. The echoes grew stronger. The modulation became more pronounced. They were getting close. Suddenly, a ripple of fear ran through the scientific establishment. A rogue probe, that once fringe hypothesis, was now splashed across headlines. Was it a forgotten relic from a Cold War experiment gone awry? A clandestine military project come back to haunt them? Or something far more chilling, a silent stalker that had been following Voyager since its departure from the heliopause, the edge of our solar bubble? Initially, attempts to verify the signals failed. The anomaly was subtle, easily drowned out by the static of deep space. But now it was a cacophony, impossible to ignore. Each new measurement confirmed what they feared. Voyager was being watched. As astronomers grappled with this alarming discovery, the atmosphere in the Jet Propulsion Laboratory thickened with tension. This was uncharted territory, a breach in their understanding of space and technology. The concept of a probe reefed in interstellar. Space was revolutionary, but it was rooted in a Cold War-era paranoia, the 1960s and 72nds, a time when nuclear anxieties painted targets on every shadow. How did such a relic escape notice for so long? And what purpose did it serve if it was truly alone? The theories abounded, ranging from deranged speculations of alien espionage to the sobering thought of a malfunctioning military craft gone catastrophically off course. But the lack of consensus only fueled the fire. With each passing day, more headlines screamed of space horror and government conspiracies. But while the public panicked, the JPL team worked tirelessly. They performed recalibration, boosted Voyager's transmitters, and pored over the influx of data. Their goal: to decipher the signal, to find the source, and most importantly, to understand its intent. Every graph, every spectral analysis brought them closer to the truth, and as they delved deeper, the edges of the story began to blur. The interstellar probe theory was compelling, but it raised more questions than it answered. How? Could a machine function without energy? How could it navigate without propulsion? And why would it linger around Voyager? It defied logic and challenged the laws of physics as they understood it. And then came the X factor, Dara read. Her unconventional thinking and unorthodox methods had initially raised eyebrows, but now they were the team's beacon. Her focus on the finer details, the modulation patterns and subtle shifts in the signals, proved crucial. By analyzing minute variations in the echoes, she identified frequencies that hinted at a sophisticated system. They were nothing like any probe NASA had built, yet they resonated with principles of quantum entanglement and advanced communication protocols. What they were dealing with wasn't a Cold War relic or a malfunctioning satellite. It was something new, something that forced them to rewrite the very definition of space exploration. As the mystery deepened, the team faced a critical decision. Should they inform the public? Revealing such a discovery would send shockwaves across the globe, shattering perceptions of our place in the universe. But keeping it under wraps felt equally treacherous. How long could they hide the truth? And what if the probe's intentions were hostile? The debate raged, pitting the need for transparency against the potential for global panic. And as the clock ticked, they had to choose between informing the world or safeguarding it from knowledge it might not be ready for. The signal intensified, then abruptly stopped. Days turned into weeks, and the silence was deafening. Had the probe gone dormant? Was it listening, observing them without their knowledge? The team was baffled. Just when they thought they had the upper hand, the game shifted. The shift came suddenly, caught in the wake of a solar flare. Amidst the static, something new emerged, the faint hum of a transmitter, a rhythmic pulse that cut through the cosmic noise, and then it stopped, each pause seeming to mock their efforts to decode it. It was like chasing a ghost through the emptiness of space. Now, as if sensing their unease, the signal returned, this time different. It was a beacon now, steady and unwavering. This wasn't background noise, not a malfunction, and certainly not a coincidence. It was a message, and it was targeted. As the magnitude of their discovery sunk in, the team prepared for action. They adjusted Voyager's antenna, amplifying the reception and bracing for more data. The signal grew stronger, forming a distinct rhythm in the interstellar hum. It was a complex sequence, pulsing in time with the rhythm of a distant star system. And as they decoded more of it, the realization struck them like a physical blow. They were receiving a transmission from an extrasolar system, a coded message from a civilization beyond their own. What makes this story particularly eerie is that it's not entirely science fiction. In 1977, NASA's Voyager 1 spacecraft picked up a strange transmission while cruising through interstellar space. The signal was so strong and mysterious that it prompted a flurry of hypotheses. Was it a sign of extraterrestrial life? A message from a distant civilization? Or something else entirely? While many believe the signal was nothing but cosmic noise, others argue it was a genuine attempt at contact. The eerie aspect lies in the fact that we'll likely never know the full story. Lost in the vastness of space, Voyager 1 continues its journey beyond our reach, carrying with it the echoes of an encounter we may never fully understand. Just as in the story, the Voyager probes, our robotic emissaries, have ventured far beyond the familiar confines of our solar system, carrying with them the hopes and dreams of humanity. But what if the silence we hear is not silence at all? What if it's a symphony of cosmic whispers, a chorus of messages from civilizations beyond our perception? The silence of space is deceptive, masking secrets that defy our understanding. And as our probes venture deeper into the cosmic abyss, we do well to remember that sometimes the most terrifying monsters lie not in the darkness, but in the silence between the stars.